Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome to Unveil 2018. I want to personally welcome you to this event. I know you've been having a wonderful time, and I'm sure you're going to have even more wonderful speakers talk here on this podium today. I've been asked to speak to Ross today about the failed states, looking at how to change the odds in your favor. Well, we are Nigerians, and everywhere you go, whenever you see two or more Nigerians seated, you know that there's a discussion that is going on. And most of the time, what is the discussion about? It is about how good we're doing and how bad we're doing. Most of the time, more of the bad than the good. And if you look at the economic indices and every other index that countries are judged by, it is obvious that if not for something that is holding us together, we should have been declared a failed state. And as a matter of fact, a lot of people even assume that Nigeria is already a failed state. But you know, the truth of the matter is we are much better than what you have in failed countries and in failed states, even though the indices speak differently. Now let's look at it. Why did we get here and how did it happen? Somehow, one thing that has bedeviled this country, that is the major thing that everyone wants to fight, is corruption. And you know, people look at corruption and assume that whenever somebody is termed corrupt, it is a case of mismanagement of funds, stealing of public money, and all that. But it goes much beyond that. And you know, you have to look at the root cause of an issue before you are able to deal with the issue. So the issue of corruption is there, there's no doubt about it. But I stand to say that it is not the major problem that Nigeria has, because somehow we have looked at it over the years. We have been fighting corruption since the last 3 decades, and we're still where we are. It tells you that there's something deeper than that is affecting us. So, what is exactly making Nigeria not to move to the next level? I would like to look at it from the viewpoint of the value system. What are the value systems that we uphold as a nation? We have come to a point where it is no longer news that things have gone from abnormal to normal. Things that normally used to be unheard of are now the order of the day in our country. We look at things and we just imagine that as long as it can pass, then it is fine. It doesn't have to be right for it to be good. It just needs to be able to pass through the system. So once you are able to do something and it goes through the system, then it is all right. Imagine a system where traffic lights are put on our roads and people drive past it as though it does not exist. It means that somehow something has gone wrong in the minds of Nigerians. Something has gone wrong in the minds of the people who are inhabitants of this country. A country where children go to write common entrance with parents sitting by the window and throwing notes and papers for them to be able to pass into secondary school. It is something that is so normal now that it is those who do not do it that are termed as abnormal, and those who do it are seen as doing the right thing or the normal thing. You know, somehow we have come to a point where we no longer value what is right. We only value what is marketable. So somehow someone goes to school, and from the very beginning of his education, the only thing that the parents keep drumming into his ears is, when are you going to be done with this so that you can begin to bring money? So he believes that education is a means to an end, which is wealth. So if he's in school, for instance, and the wealth comes along the way, then there's no point continuing the education. Somehow you just look at it and tell yourself, why am I in school? The whole essence at the end of the day was to make money. Now I'm able to make money probably through devious means. It could be 419, it could be what we call Yahoo Plus, whatever it is. As long as you do it and it brings money, then there's no point being educated. So you find out that people are educated, or rather, people are schooled and they're not educated. People go to school, they come out and they cannot be employed because all the while they were in school, all they were thinking about is how they come out the next minute and they can hammer. And right now, hammering is like the order of the day. So the values that we used to have as Nigeria has left even in the last 2 generations, such that there are people born in this generation who do not know anything other than what they see. They do not believe that there was once a time where people spoke well in this country about the values of hard work, the values of dignity in labor, the values of being excellent at what you do. Nobody looks at that anymore. There are children right now who believe that everything that we live for is just to make money. Therefore, any way and anyhow money is going to come is fine. After all, when you have money, you are celebrated. And celebration of the wealthy does not take into cognizance what they do. If someone looks at what you do before he celebrates you, probably is going to ginger the next person to want to do well. But as long as the person is celebrated because he has a 4x4, because he has a mighty house in the heart of the town on an island where the big guys stay, then the young man just believes that that's what you need to do to be recognized. So when you seek recognition, all you look for is money. And the value that we place on money is so high that that is the only thing that people want to do. Having said that, what do we do and how do we get out of here? Someone says you have to change the odds in your favor. What odds are you changing? In a country where there is no electricity, in a country where there is no power, no light, no fuel, no amenities, government is failing in everything that it's meant to do, there are no jobs, no opportunities. It just begs the question, what are you changing? What odds are you able to change? You are the one who provides security for yourself. You're the one who provides water for yourself. You're the one who provides power for yourself. Even the roads, sometimes you have to fix them in order to be able to pass through them. It just tells you that everything is not working. Every society, community, group, or institution functions as a result of values. These values could be explicit, they could be implicit. It could flow from an ideology or could be something that you just meet in the system when you are born into or you flow into as a result of immigration or anything like that. Somehow, in Nigeria, we have come to a point where we do not have a value system that is defined. The lack of definition of a value system makes it very difficult for people to aspire to anything great. You look at it and you ask yourself, what can be predetermined about my life in the next 10 years? I want someone to be able to tell me, how do we grow from zero to hero in a manner that is consistent with an ideology that is in place? Somehow this does not happen. However, we're expected to function in a system that does not even have a core of itself. It explains why young people do not see a future for themselves. And that is the greatest problem that Nigeria has at this time and point. It is the problem of where do we go from here? It brings to the question, changing the odds in your favor. What odds are you changing? How can you change odds in your favor when you do not even see anything that is working? It looks as though there is nothing you set your hands to that you can succeed in. You ask yourself, is it power? Is it roads? What exactly is working in this country? So you tend to just lose hope. You lose hope at every slight opportunity to cause a change or to make a difference. Because from the beginning, you already feel there's no way I'm going to succeed in this. But it is in a country where things are not working, where things are not exactly the way they are supposed to be, that a young person is supposed to get a vision. Because it means that everything you do is to make a difference and to bring about a solution to perennial problems. Everywhere you look around you, there are problems. There's a problem of electricity, there's a problem of bad roads, there's a problem of fuel crisis, there's a problem everywhere. The educational system has collapsed. There are children who are going to school who don't even understand what they're being taught. You don't even know why they are being taught what they are being taught. Guidance and counseling is no longer existent in our university, in our secondary educational system. So people do not even know why they want to become anything because they are lost on what careers they're supposed to go into. I sit and I look at it. If I were to start a business in Nigeria, would my business be started because I needed to make money or because there are needs I want to meet? The reason behind every business is what is going to determine whether the business is going to succeed or not. Most of the time, people who have succeeded in all spheres of endeavor are people who saw a problem and brought a solution. In the course of bringing a solution to the problem, probably they might have made some good money, but that was not the essence from the very beginning. If your motivation is to find solution to problems that are existent in the society, it's a matter of time before you become a household name. It explains why I put my whole weight behind this initiative or jog. I believe that if young people can sit up, whether educated or uneducated, learned or unlearned, skilled or unskilled, and tell themselves that there are problems to be solved and we are the solution, then we're halfway there. Because the reason we are where we are is that a bunch of people believe that the state is meant to provide every and everything for them. Yes, it is necessary for the government to provide an enabling environment for businesses to thrive, for people to be able to get jobs. That's correct. But how many of our youths are actually employable? If you are going to start a business today and you look around yourself, would you actually look at people who live around you as people who are qualified to carry on with the vision that you have gotten? It means that there is something we need to go back and start. The odds can be changed in our favor. The fact that there are problems is the easiest way to a solution. If everything was solved already, then what would you be doing? All over the world, revolutionaries have come. They have come into the Korean Republic, they have come into Singapore, they have come to the United Arab Emirates. People keep talking about the revolution in these areas in terms of industrialization and in terms of development. Development will not come into a place if there is no vision. The first thing is to have a vision. You must be able to visualize what you are expecting in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years in your own life. If your life is the exact mirror of what you want to see, then you can transform a society. But if you have been unable to transform your own life, how are you going to transform society? You go into university, you get skills, you acquire knowledge, you have character, you come into the society and you're able to make impact, then something is wrong. It's either the education is not complete or yourself, you do not see the application of that which you have learned. The application of what you have learned is definitely bound to bring the change. If you cannot see within yourself what it is that is going to cause that dramatic change, then there cannot be any change. Change is not going to come from above, it's not going to come from beneath, it's going to come from you. Until you look yourself in the mirror and say, this is the man who is going to bring about the change that the country needs, that Nigeria needs, that Benin City needs, that my environment needs, then that place is not going to change in a hurry. I don't have enough time this evening because there are so many speakers that want to talk. Otherwise, I have a lot of examples I would have wanted to give. But one thing I want to leave you with is if there's going to be a change that will make our state not to become a failed one, like everyone is presuming and assuming it has already gotten into, then we'll have to look ourselves in the faces and tell ourselves we are the change that the world is waiting for. I encourage you, think about it. If you were to solve the electricity problem in Nigeria today, if you were the one who solved the electricity problem in Nigeria today, do you know how much that would mean to Nigerians? Do you know how much that would mean financially for you? Let's quit thinking the solution is going to come from elsewhere. The solution lies in this room. It lies in you. God bless you.